friend from Brain Copper is the Rattlesnakes!
Hello.
How are you guys?
Very well. How are you? So.
Oh,
Talk about it?
no, it's okay. How it feels to be there today?
Say again?
How it feels to be here today?
It's very exciting. Yeah, the last time we played here it was 40 degrees and it was one of the shows that we talk about still. It was like, it was an amazing experience. So, yeah, very, very excited to be back today.
Hey guys.
Hi.
It's
I
Joseph.
love your vest.
Very much. As you can tell from my accent, I'm American. So as a UK artist, I see that you have a lot of upcoming European festival dates. A lot of stops in France as well. Where do you find your strongest fan base? If you guys have any plans to be traveling outside of Europe anytime soon?
So we've just done Australia and America this year. But the reason there are so many shows in France is because our biggest fan base outside of England is in France. So we don't know what's happened, but we fucking love you guys. And if we could move here, we would. Brexit made that a little bit difficult, but we're working on it, I promise. So, yeah, but we love coming back here. The French understand how to riot, and that's an important part of rock and roll. You know, we're for the underdogs. We always have been, and so I think the French, they really understand our passion. They understand our soul of our music, and our band is all about hope. You know, so it's about being the outsiders, and so yeah, I think that's why we get on so well.
Hey guys, a few months ago we met and we talked about the new album, and Frank, you said that it was hard emotionally to play some of the songs and sing some of the songs since this tour has now started, since a few months. How is it now?
It's worse. It got a lot harder. Yeah, I think some of those songs, you write them and that is your therapy. You know, in the studio, we spend hours and hours working through what we're trying to understand in ourselves, and to also make sure that works for the wider world in a way, you know. And yes, some of those songs I struggle with it. I find it harder now. Difficult situations. The last album is it's a documentation of the worst period of my life, you know. So I feel really, really grateful to be here playing those songs, but some of them are just really fucking hard work, you know? Yeah. So, and I'd rather be singing than crying, so that's me, yeah. How's it for you?
I think they change for me a lot after we start playing them live. So they become a different thing, and I think, because obviously I don't write the lyrics, so how the fans react to them sort of defines what they are. So kind of that I take all these favourites to the show, and then when I see how different people kind of feel to the different songs, it all reorders. So yeah, I didn't think we'd be playing Brambles every gig we play, for example, but I love it, and it's kind of completely morphed into this much more of a celebration than it was in the studio. Yeah. So yeah, they're all kind of completely different beasts to me now. It's been a few months.
Hi.
Hi. You're going to tour France at the end of the year. You used to go a date in Paris. We were present in the Bataclan.
Thank you.
It was incredible.
Thank you very much.
Do you feel like you're taking your place in France and Europe now?
I feel like we've been working on it for a long time, you know, and it's been a really steady climb.
It doesn't feel like taking our place. It feels more, to me, like being welcomed in.
Yeah.
It feels like, we're being given an opportunity to feel the love of France. And we're feeling it big time.
It's been really difficult, the past few years, you know, being locked away in England through COVID, and then obviously the political situation has meant that we felt further away from the rest of the world than ever. And I think that for us, it's very important that we're out playing globally, but in a local way, you know, and meeting people and talking to them and understanding what our band means to them, and trying to express how much it means to us to have so many people in those rooms, you know. So we recorded all of those shows, on that tour, and the France one is the show in Paris is just different. It just has such a different energy.
The crowd is twice as loud as the entire rest of the tour.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah. Who's next? Hi.
Again. Last time we talked about also the punk rock scene, and you were like, it's too spread out. It's not supposed to be. How's your feedback today?
I think what I'm witnessing is an international punk scene as a movement now. You've got incredible bands on this bill. You know, like I've just walked down the corridor backstage, and High Vis are playing today. You've got Scowl playing today. We played a show in Germany last weekend, and I got to watch Speed are all the way from Sydney, you know, and to see all of these bands that are like really making an impact in hardcore punk internationally, but in different countries around the world, is a beautiful thing. So I think the punk scene, I'm going to stand by what I said. I think punk is more spread out than it has ever been, and I think that's exactly how it needs to be right now. We're mobilizing. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's a proper revolution happening, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to witness. You know, I wouldn't class us really as we are a punk band. I was going to say we're not a punk band, but then I don't know if there's anything more punk than being able to go out on stage wearing whatever the fuck you want and playing whatever songs you want. They might not sound classically punk, but the attitude, the mindset, and the heart and the soul is there, and it's always been there, and it will always fucking be there. We do not give a fuck what anyone thinks about us. You either like us or you don't, but we don't give a shit, and we never will. And I think that's why we connect with people, you know. So yeah, it's very spread out, but the world is a better place for it.
Hi. First of all, we love you in Australia. You always bring so much energy to us, so thank you. And here's the question. So, what's your favorite memory watching someone else perform live, and can you tell us a story?
Okay, so I'll give you two. The first one, can I go first? Is that alright? I saw Idols play in Budapest, right? We played a festival together called Ziggit, and I watched them play to a full tent, and it was honestly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, it was, I don't know what happened to me, but I watched 5 men playing music like it was the only thing that mattered to them in the whole world, yeah? And I burst into tears, and I cried for like half an hour. I obviously was going through some shit, but that was a reminder to me of how important music is, you know? If me, I've been playing music for 20 years at that point, can stand and watch a band and be moved to tears just because of the delivery and the conviction and the energy, it was an amazing thing, and I will remember that forever, yeah? And my second favourite memory is, I'm sober now, okay? But this is a fun story. So I don't drink anymore, I don't take drugs anymore, but I had never done a shot in my life. And then we played 2 gigs with the Foo Fighters in a Coliseum in Pula, and Dave walked up to us in the middle of our set with a tray of shots, and I was like, I've never done one, and he was like, you don't have to, and I was like, you're Dave Grohl, I do. And so I did a shot with Dave Grohl, and then I had a rule for a little while that I was only going to do shots with Dave Grohl, because that's meant that I didn't drink very often. And then 2 weeks later we played Reading and Leeds, and he was on stage in the middle of their set, and he turned around and I had a tray of shots, and that's one of my favourite memories as well, because he was so upset. He was shaking his head like, fuck, you got me. So and that was a fun moment, but I've stopped drinking now, so yeah.
No trays of shots. Mine's also going to be Foo Fighters. We did like a whole summer with them, and I feel like there's always this discussion in the UK of like, if rock is dead. I don't know if it's the same in Europe, but it was like playing on my mind more than normal. And so I went into that tour with them thinking like, I really fucking hope it's not dead. And the whole summer just reminded me that there's always going to be just millions of people that love rock music. And I remember just looking, not at the band, but mostly at the huge audiences they'd have every night.
Yeah.
And just the feeling that, I don't think that feeling exists in other genres. And it's the reason that I was drawn to rock and the special thing, and just really needed it that summer to be reminded that it's just people that are not, they don't understand what it is that makes rock music special to say that. So also Foo Fighters.
That's awesome.
Hi, I'm a big fan. I was wondering if you wanted to, I think previously music genres were very, very specific, but now you're able to be more broad. And I think your new album is quite different from your previous ones.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you wanted to define that genre, of how you would name it.
What did I see it yesterday? It was defined as someone put it in a pile at a record store as shoegaze, post-pop, dark wave punk. I was like, that is utter nonsense, but I love it. Like, that's fuck it. We're a shoegaze, post-pop, dark wave punk band now. We're just a rock and roll band. I think we're just a punk rock and roll band.
Simple as that.
Yeah, we just write the songs that we write. We don't have a choice. When we go into the studio, we don't sit down and plan to write an album that sounds a certain way. You have to just write what comes out of you at the time, and that's dependent on the lyrics, and it's dependent on the music. And Dean writes the music, and I write the lyrics, and the connection is dependent on what's happening in the world and in our lives, and we just go with emotions. So yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Who's next? Hi.
Do you think you're winner today with this new album? Is this the album of maturity? How do you feel?
There's always like a childish element to my music, to my lyrics. You know, I'm always trying to have fun. I mean, one of the songs is about sucking toes, so I wouldn't say it's the most mature album we've made. But sonically, like, it's definitely, it's the most mature we've been musically, I think. We gave each other space to make an album that we really loved, you know? And it gave us the room to go to places emotionally that either of us hadn't been able to be. In the past, you know, we've always said there's a real strength in vulnerability. This is the most vulnerable album we've ever made, you know? And we learned a lot about ourselves in that process. We learned a lot about our fans, and we learned a lot about music, you know, and how it is to play it live. So I think it's our most vulnerable record. I don't know about. I guess it would be the most mature. We're always getting a bit older. I'm fucking 40 years old now, so I feel mature now.
I think also it's every album we make, there is this sort of secondary to the music and emotion. There is just songwriting and craft, and we don't spend a lot of time like we're not watching like workshops on YouTube or whatever, but we're doing it more and more. There's songs 50 plus. So I think we are just getting better at that side of it by just doing more of it. So I think there's more maturity in that. Like the record feels more varied to me, and you don't really, well, we don't plan that. You just find that out months later when you're like, oh, when you're playing on stage, and it's very different to the songs around it.
So Dean, I know you also produced the album as well as writing the music. Could you just talk about that and what your process was, or any fun facts?
Well, I produced the last two. So the first one, Sticky, was more out of necessity because we were in lockdown and we wanted to make music, but everything was closed, and so it was less of a big decision. It just felt more like we're already kind of half doing it, so we carried on. And you'd kind of been saying to do it for a while, and I've been saying no, but you had me literally locked away. I had no choices. There was no way.
No escape. He was going to make the record this time, and he had no choice.
But after that, which in that one, it felt quite, it was quite a stress for me. I didn't necessarily enjoy the producing side of Sticky, but it felt like from doing that process, we should do it again, knowing what we'd learned from it. And I felt the opposite. I really enjoyed producing Dark Rainbow and what it meant for our process, the time, the space, the decisions we could make. But it definitely feels like also then time to bring someone else in now off of that. I think the benefit mostly was to say to people that we collaborated, this is what we've made when we're giving a lot more freedom or the keys to the kingdom. And then I think that will then mean the people that collaborate understand us better. So yeah, time to tag someone else back in for the next one has yet to be announced. In theory, if we make another album.
Hi.
Hey Frank,
Hi.
I am Sally from Mexico City.
Cool.
I am very happy to be here at the Hellfest, and I want to know, how do you mentally and physically prepare before each concert to maintain that intensity and connection with your public?
Well, for one, I don't drink anymore. That made a big difference. We have a quite a gentle routine. We have an hour before the show where we all get together and we get into our stage clothes, and we have a very specific playlist which changes, but it has the songs that we love that get us into the headspace. Like I said before about idols and how important music is, you know, we really lean into that. Apart from that, it's a lot of like slippers, a lot of peppermint tea. It's very relaxing, lots of yoga. We're like the a healthcare band, you know, like it's not really, if you came and saw us backstage, it is not rock and roll the way that people would think. I'm like playing Fortnite and the boys are like doing yoga. Gaz is stretching for like 3 fucking hours.
Yeah, Gaz does like a lot of deep breathing all day. It's quite intense. You walk into the dressing room, just on the floor doing these long breaths.
Yeah, and then also I've done a lot of vocal warm-ups now over the past year. I've really worked on my voice, and that's helped a lot. So yeah.
I see it as that we save all of that side of our personalities for the show.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. We used to be a bit more like that off stage, but less so now.
Chaos. It was fucking chaos. That doesn't last forever. Hi. Yes, you.
Hey. Hello, I'm Ben from BGB Music Live from Paris.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Question for you, Frank. Have you ever broke something of your body when you do your stunt on stage in the crowd?
Yeah. Multiple times, yeah. My nose is crooked because I've broken that several times. I've broken, I think, 8 of my fingers. I fractured an elbow once. I woke up and that was on day 2 of the tour. I woke up and I thought I'd been bitten by a spider. It was so swollen. I was like, this is definitely a fucking spider. And they were like,
is that not the front flips off the gun?
Yeah. And they were like, I went to the hospital and was like, I have no idea how I've done it. And my friend was there like, dude, you literally jumped off a balcony. And I was like, oh, yeah, it might have been that. She was like, no impact, no hard impact. I was like, no. He was like, yes, 100%. So yeah, I've broken a lot of bones and there's been a lot of problems, a lot of accidents, but we move. Punk rock, eh? Who's next?
Who's next? Oh. Come on guys, don't be shy.
We're very happy to wrap this up. We've got a show to get ready for.
I guess we're done then.
Cool, great. Hey guys, thank you so much.
Thank you very
it's been a
much.
pleasure. Absolute pleasure, thank you.
Thank you so much guys. Frank Tucker and the Rattlesnakes and